visually, it's important. Core values, all the other stuff, colors and music choice.
Right, of hiding, keeping the phone turned upside down, turning off the Bluetooth when I got in the car, you know, that kind of stuff. But when I realized that this was my person, that's something I just made a commitment that I'm going to make that promise once I finally got there. And I said, that's something I've actually kept is, look, I don't have no password.
Welcome back to He Said, She Said, Playmakers and Soulmates, the show where we get real about love, dating, and everything in between.
All right, so today we've got something special. We've got 3 couples bringing the wisdom of lived relationships, 6 perspectives, hopefully a lot of laughs, some truth-telling, maybe even some heated debates, but we're going to jump in. So, Christy, anything else?
Before we get started, let's do a quick intro. Tell us your name, your relationship status, and a fun fact about you.
I'm Vendetta. This is my husband, Tony. We've been married for 27 years. And one fun fact about me is that I used to be a dancer. I danced recreationally, like ballet, jazz, modern. Today I think it's called contemporary, but yes.
27 years, they got time in it.
They do.
Go ahead, Tony.
And I love.
So she introduced me. My name is Tony, but I'm a stripper.
He is not a stripper. He is a retired stripper.
Oh my God.
Fun fact, I used to be a music producer / DJ, so that was my days in when I was young. But now I'm just a family guy. So
awesome.
And number 23.
A wonderful family guy. And number 23. If you look at the old barbershop pictures, his face is actually on that picture as number 23. So that's what we call him, number 23. All right. And our newly married couple.
All right, my name's Chloe Holloway. This is my husband, Caleb. We've been married for 5 months. And a fun fact about me is I used to live overseas in Belize, Central America.
Belize? So 5 months, they still got the receipt on their toe. They brand spanking new. But there's a lot to learn from new couples, too.
Exactly.
So, KK, anything else?
Fun fact about me, I done Taekwondo as a kid. So, yeah.
Okay.
Know how to fight a little bit.
Right, good. But no fighting on the set, my man. So we are going to, Christy and I will introduce ourselves. We're the host. As you know, we're the host of He Said, She Said, Playmakers and Soulmates. And so Christy and I have been together for a number of years. And what's one fun fact about you?
My name is Christy Holloway.
See how she has to introduce herself? You're going to learn that through our marriage examples. Go ahead, baby.
No, my name is Christy Phillips. And I would say
I didn't realize you ain't say my last name. Oh, this is a new podcast. This podcast just changed, y'all.
Before and after.
Go ahead, baby.
Okay, so fun fact about me is that I love golf. I love to shoot guns. Don't judge me. I actually love Krav Maga.
Krav Maga.
So that's one thing about me.
All right,
Yes.
So our next podcast will be Christy with her Krav Maga, and we're going to have KK with his Taekwondo. All right, we're going to have him square off.
Oh, no.
Christy's doing wet t-shirt. Just kidding. All right.
You need Jesus.
So I've been X'd out. And then one fun fact about me is I love studying anything African history. So Nile Valley civilizations, I like to think of myself as an amateur Egyptologist. So that's one fun fact.
And submarines. Don't forget about
And
that.
submarines. I love any movie that has submarines in it. So I'll watch anything with a submarine. We just toured one not too long ago.
Last week.
All right, so let's break the ice. Couples, first, I'd love to hear just your meeting stories. How did you meet? So let's start with our veterans. How'd you meet?
So like I said, my name is Black Coffee.
Strip club.
And so when she first, no.
And she's the cream to his coffee. All right, how'd y'all meet?
Well, real simple. I was walking through Sears Roebuck. Anybody remember Sears?
Yeah, back in the day. Number one
I was
retail.
walking through Sears, and at the time, Sears was going through a transformation. So they were mimicking Marshall Fields and all the high-end stores. So they changed everything in the inside. So as I was walking past, I went past like the cosmetics, and I saw this fine ass. I was like, I'm like, damn. I'm like, Sears is coming out. this Sears? So then I kind of walk past, and I walk past again. I'm like, she is fine. So my friend worked there. He was like, well, I can get you a job here. I'm like, you give me a job here? Okay.
Wait, Vinetta, were you working there?
I was working there. I was working in cosmetics.
She's in
And
college.
if I interject, I made the first move because we were testing a new product, and I was like, I'm giving hand massages.
That's another podcast.
Nice.
And I was like, I want to try this new product. And his coworker was like, do me first. And I was like, no, it's not really for you. It's only
Do me first. Double entendre.
I said it's only for him. And the rest is history, I guess.
Oh.
Awesome. How'd you meet?
Let's see. So.
Okay, so I shot my shot. He's pretty much.
In the DM. See, this is a social media couple, folks.
I found her page through a church called Radio. Saw her profile picture. Her profile was locked, so I wasn't able to see pictures. But I added her. She followed back. And I just sent her a message to say, hey, and then, the rest was kind of history. I mean, I kind of forgot what I wrote exactly, but we, at the time, I was in Dallas, Texas, and she was in Dallas, Texas. We were originally from Florida, so when I saw that, I was like, okay, cool. She's like right by me, I could still visit her and stuff like that. So, that's kind of how we met. Then, that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's you, me. Who's gonna tell it?
You tell it.
All right.
You tell it.
So I was working for a cruise line, and on the very first day of a 7-day cruise, I saw her and her girlfriend come in standing at the maitre d', and I was working for the cruise line. And so I literally looked at the maitre d' in the eyes and was like, put them right in front of me. And so that's how we met. We met on a cruise ship. But what I didn't know is I kept trying to talk to her, but she wasn't initially interested. So I made the first move. And then ironically, after we finished breakfast, we had great conversation between the four of us. She tried to put me in the friend zone. So she immediately came around the table and said, all right, cousin Ron, it's been good to meet you.
That's right.
And I pulled her close and said, let me be clear. I'm not your cousin. I'm not going to be your cousin. And she just went, oh.
And walked away.
But I had 7 days to lock it down. And so I followed that. I was a stalker.
Yeah, because he actually showed up everywhere that I did. I'm like, I'm in the balcony about to go to a show, and he shows up. I'm opening my door to my cabin, and he walks by. He's like, hey.
That's old school stalker.
I'm like, oh my God. But like KK said, and then the rest is history here,
We've been together ever since.
Yes, we have.
Ever since.
Yes.
Look, if you could relive one moment from the early relationship, so you got 27 years in, you got 5 months in, but you dated before you got married. If you could relive one moment from your early relationship, what would that moment be? Let's start with you. One moment.
I'll do first.
Okay, I would say our 6-month anniversary. We went to Orlando. We went on a hot air balloon for the first time.
Pep juice.
My first time. And we ate at a steakhouse, and it was pretty good and everything. But I gave her a promise ring, and pretty much I told her, I wanted to be exclusive to her. I only had eyes with her, even though we weren't married. So I just kind of wanted to let her know, I'm taking this serious, even though we're not ready to get married just yet.
Right.
So that was really memorable for me.
So can I just interject? One of the things here's the first message from this podcast. KK was intentional. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we out here dating sporadically. We out here in these streets putting notches on our belt and just dating. But one thing that you'll hear from him is he was intentional. He made it be known. I want to be exclusive.
Right.
And I call that locking them down. How did you react to that?
It was pretty surreal, just like having someone really just express that to you, and express that they sought a future with you, or just even on that track and they were really wanting to take you serious. It made me feel really special.
Absolutely.
It was beautiful. And he made it such a great weekend. That was gonna be my moment too, was the hot air balloon. You got up early, you could see the sunrise all over the horizon. It was just stuff.
So you didn't get put on probation 6 months and then 3
Hey,
months?
we'll get to we'll get to that's still an example of being intentional. Let's go to our other guest, Tony and Vendetta. All right.
Well, can I start?
Oh,
I
you
can
start.
Our honeymoon, we got married on New Year's Day. And we were living
Wow.
in Chicago. And it just so happened that this year, January 1st, 1999, we had a blizzard. We got 22 inches of snow. But we were driving to a bed and breakfast to spend the weekend before we left for our honeymoon.
Oh, wow.
And when we got there, we ended up getting snowed in for the weekend.
He scheduled that.
It was the most amazing. We had the amazing host at the bed and breakfast. It was exclusive to us. She cooked for us. And
Oh, wow.
it was the most romantic moment I ever experienced.
Oh, my God.
I would love to read that.
Intentionality.
Intentionality.
And romance. Brothers can't be romantic. Please. Hot air balloons and bed and breakfasts in the snow. Intentionality. Tony?
Intentional.
You know what? She stole what I was going to say because that was our key signature, like the first thing that happened to us that was beautiful.
Yeah.
And we were like, wow, because for one, we didn't expect that much snow.
Yeah.
But it was great. And that was a blizzard day. In addition to that, the lady, you remember that?
I don't remember her name.
Oh my goodness. The lady that hosted us actually could cook. So we were snowed in. So she made like a stew, like a homemade stew and some food for us.
Baked fresh.
We had bottles of wine.
Yeah.
It was
I'm getting hungry.
it was fantastic. So it was one of those things that like, I mean, you couldn't have planned that if you wanted to.
So we want to give a shout out to our sponsor and our host, Vin Santo, Wine Bar, Shop, and Bistro. They have an amazing selection of wines here. It's here in Houston in the Energy Corridor, right off Memorial. You need to come through here. It's a really chill place. The food is amazing. It's also a wine shop, so you can come here and buy wine, take it out, or sit down and drink. We had some amazing cheeses, some amazing charcuterie board,
Pizza?
and just really had, and that pizza was to die for, right? It was
Yes,
crazy, right?
yes.
So just really shout out to this wine bar. They did an excellent job. Great leadership here. And please show up and spend some time here.
Very accommodating.
Very accommodating, and you'll love it. So thank you so much, everybody.
Take care. Well, that's one common thing. You talked about the steaks, and when you went for steaks, you talked about the stew and food. So this is a good time.
Grab some food.
It's a
Grab
good
some
time
food.
to actually Vin Santo.
And anybody lean in and grab what you want. Don't let it go to waste. I just had one of those bruschetta, and they are off the chain. So my next question is going to be is, how did you know that this was your person? Did you have to lock her in the basement with chloroform and rope and until she succumbed, or? Oh, you don't use chloroform? What's your drug of choice? I don't. Melatonin. So couples, how did you know this was your person? Was it a spark or something that grew over time? I just want to make sure that nobody like took their potential mate and roped them up and put chloroform and put them in the basement until they gave it chloroform. Okay, well, you used a different drug?
No, I use melatonin.
Melatonin, exactly. All right. Melatonin, Benadryl, whatever works. So if you're not intentional, there's no immediate spark. Just remember, rope, chloroform, melatonin, Benadryl, lock them up until they're ready to succumb. No, seriously. How did you know this was your person? Was it a spark or something that grew over time? I'll start with this, our couple here.
Okay.
Well, I'll start. We met very young. I was still in college. And I just was incapable of being faithful. Like if I met a guy, I had a boyfriend, I had wandering eyes. I was always super interested until I met this guy.
Number 23.
When I met this guy, it was a spark.
Yeah, good.
We had immediate chemistry, and I wanted, and I was very intentional about like, no, I want to be with him and only him.
Wow.
Only you. Still.
Tony?
Yeah, I agree. It was the sex.
No, it's fine. Her mom's watching this, man.
Oh, so sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, but seriously though, my first. So I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. Another fun fact. And when I came to Chicago, I lived on the south side of Chicago. So I met a lot of different women from the south side. But I met her, and she's from the north side. It's a total different woman.
Oh, now all our South Side subscribers are unsubscribing.
But I met something different in her. And when I saw that, I'm like, wow, that was the first thing to indicate to me, like, okay, I think this is the one. She was so different. And like I said, coming from New York, you know, New York is like one state of mind, New York state of mind. but yet everybody's different. So they're different in the Bronx than they are in Brooklyn, Queens. And so when I saw that in her, I said, oh man, this is the one. So I knew at that point, like, this is the one.
Awesome. You too? Was it a spark or something that grew over time?
I think it's something that grew over time.
Okay.
I remember inviting her over to my apartment, and then I believe we ate and everything, things like that. But I started talking about something that I like really regretted as a child. You know, something that I did that, you know, I just wish I wouldn't have done. So
You was a stripper too?
Yeah, we don't need the story.
But yeah, so I told her, and I thought I was gonna be judged for it, you know, but she met me with compassion and love. I was able to actually cry about it. I'm not the type of person that just cry about anything. Really, I'm not. I feel like us men, like our emotions, like kind of stay within us. You know what I mean? So, you know, seeing how she like responding to that, it was just like, dang, like, okay, like we can move forward. And then I started to see like our future kind of like unfold. You know, I kind of had a vision like, okay, like I can start telling her stuff and, you know, trust her more, things like that. So that's how.
So here's lesson number 2, and he's over here dropping pearls. Lesson number 2 is we talked about intentionality, but also relationships are also, we all have stories, we all have histories. And so you want to find somebody that really embraces you, listens to you, cares about you with their whole heart, versus judging you and pushing you down and say, why didn't you do this, and so on and so forth. Sometimes we have to, and we're going to talk later about grace, but it sounds like she gave you a lot of grace and space for her to see who you really were. And I think that that's really powerful. How would you answer?
I would say something that grew over time. As women, sometimes men can really hurt us and they can really lead us on and mistreat us, and it's hard. So I remember there was one point where I had him on the phone and I asked him, like, what are your intentions? Like, I asked him that question straight out because I was
Really?
Really good.
So I think from there and seeing how he handled that conversation with grace, and at that point, gosh, I think it was about a month or two of us just kind of like talking, dating-ish, and he just led with cool, calm, just energy. That's when I was like, whoa, like, you know, he wasn't trying to be someone who wasn't. He was just trying to perform.
Right.
And then once I felt like I could just be myself, like I could be goofy and kind of silly, and I felt like I didn't have to be perfect, like my hair didn't always be done, my nails, like we would just have fun and we would explore and just do things. It just over time, I really felt so safe and secure. It was beautiful.
Awesome. All right, host. How did you know that this was your person? Was it a spark or something that grew over time?
It was definitely something that grew over time. As I mentioned earlier about the probation, so I was on probation for quite some time. But one thing that I could say...
Explain the probation.
The probation was that basically my true representative would come out because a person couldn't be so, like, I guess, calm and straightforward. And I'm like, this is who I am, but okay.
And let me just interject. I kept saying we had been together 3 months. The probation was, okay, we're going to do another 3 months because at some point your real self will come out.
That's right.
Because most people bring their personal representative to the relationship. And what I heard from all these examples is you were you.
Right.
You brought you and your whole heart. You took the leap and trusted. I was not in a place where I felt like safe.
Right.
And I felt like I did not really trust that what I was seeing was real. And the word I used, leakage.
Leakage.
There will be leakage, and we'll get
There
to see
will
who
be
you really
leakage.
are.
But one thing too with Ron, my husband, is that he was very honest about what he wanted and what he did not want. He did not want a relationship. He did not want to live with a woman at all.
I said I would never marry again.
And I said, knowing me, I said, okay. You see. So it was definitely not a spark. It grew. It was quick. You know, I could say that we did develop into what we are really quick, but he was very accountable. He was very straightforward. And I did appreciate the honesty that he brought to the relationship.
And we've heard that in these examples too. Candor, transparency. We'll talk a little bit about transparency in a moment, but just being honest and taking the risk. Because to your point, Chloe, some of us have been in some damaged situations and damaged relationships. And every time that happens, you lower your trust level. Oh, you raise your barriers to trust. So for me, it was a spark. You know, I'm the only one of the 6 that he was an absolute spark. I mean, it was not something that grew over time. When I saw her on that cruise ship on that first day, there was something different about her. It wasn't even, she's a very attractive woman, but I felt her. I felt her spirit. And I just knew if I'm going to take the risk ever again, I'm going to take the risk with her. But I didn't have faith. So it was a hopeful spark, right?
Yeah.
But it was absolutely a spark, and it's still sparking. So I think that's outstanding. So here's the big debate question. And we hear this all the time. Do opposites attract, or do you need common ground to last? Let's hear it. I'm going to start with you folks. Do opposites attract, or do you need common ground?
Yeah. So I think opposites attract, but not polar opposites. So I think a little bit of opposition is good. I think it provides some like healthy balance and kind of like some of that spark. But essentially your core values are just some things like there's certain cannot be like polar opposites.
Yep.
You know? I mean,
Like faith.
faith,
Just-
family,
Just like common.
thermostat.
The thermostat. We're polar opposites on that. That thermostat, because we can hang meat in our house because it's so cold.
But we were able to get through it by, I love it cold,
She
but we
loves
were
it
able to
cold.
get through it by getting him a heated blanket. So
Right.
there you go.
Yeah, still working on that.
She got tired after year 5 of me complaining like, my feet are blue.
7 in her house for him to sleep. That's sweating.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, God. I would die.
I like that. We can get that sound for that.
Yeah, I would say opposites, but not polar.
Oh, that's a great answer. Okay. Polar for the cold. How about you folks?
Well, you know what? I'll speak first. She hit a great point about core values. That's important. The fact that you like hip hop and she like the jazz, that's irrelevant.
Right, that's not polar. Right.
Polar, but the things that are important are family values and the things that are really important.
Yeah.
And we did a test a long time ago. It's a test that has 50 core values. And then you have to break the 50 down to 25. You have to break the 25 down to 5.
Wow.
And me and her matched. You do it separate, and we matched. We had the exact same core values. And that was a sign that like, okay, this is the one right here.
Right.
This is really the one. Yeah. But yeah, significantly, it's important. Core values, all the other stuff, colors and music choices, that's not important. The marriage.
Yeah, and I'll add that to your point, Chloe, about the you can't be polar opposites. But when there are differences, you balance one another. And it's a healthy balance. It's a balance that's needed, right? Like we often sometimes would describe our personalities like he's the calm before and after the storm. I'm the storm. I'll be the storm.
Amen.
Exactly.
So I love that he's balanced. He's slow to anger, very calm, where I can go from 0 to 100. He is not. From 0 to 100.
Juanita.
Juanita.
You know, character.
You know how many restaurants we had to leave out of? Let's not leave out of this one, please. Can we stay here? Just say it. That's awesome. Christy?
I would say, I gotta say the same, but for us, it was more of, okay, let me to your point, Vendetta, I'm the calm, he is the tsunami, right? And I can get there, but I think through everything in my head, like the result of, and my point to him all the time is don't mess up our money. You know, that is my point to him all the time. But because he already had kids, I don't have kids. We didn't have to think through because I'm older. I didn't have to think through that side. But I did want to see what type of person, what type of father, what type of man he was. And just getting to know Ron, he was honest. He was straightforward. He's a provider. He is that person that, it was just like I would cry at first. I met my person. I met my person because of who he is, and he thinks of me first, and he includes me on everything. So he is just that person for me. So, yeah.
I would go a little bit probably the other way. I used to think opposites attract, but I met my person. I mean, we do everything. I remember somebody I introduced Christy to, which was my executive coach, and then she called me afterwards and she said, "Now I know why you're so in love with that woman. You met you. You married you." She's
Except for the
Ron
tsunami.
Phillips, right? Except for the tsunami part, right? But it was just so wonderful, that whole deal, right? When I found out, the story I'll tell you is when we were dating very early, I would try to rush her out of my place because I played video games at night. And I was like, hey, don't you need to get back up the road, back to Orlando? And I was real polite in the way I said it. But the reality was, I had a standing video game at 4 o'clock on Sundays, and I was trying to get with my brother to play Gears of War. And so one day she just hit me with, I play video games. And I said, now you're trying too hard. You don't play video games. She said, no, I play video games. So I literally threw her the Xbox controller, and she got down in that gamer hunch and started doing this. And so opposites don't attract. This is my person. I was like, I'm gonna marry this woman because anybody play video games like that, we play games. We're big time gamers now. So.
Actually, I heard him say, "Oh my God, I'm in love." When I did that, oh my goodness, that's it.
Because think about it, but think about it. The number of YouTube videos we see of women talking bad about men that play video games. Now, I'm not saying you there playing 8 hours a day and you should have a job. We're not talking about those people, right?
Right.
But just we all have different ways that we relax and blow off steam. And for me, that was a major way for me. I need to kill zombies at night to relax so I can get ready for that corporate thing. So I thought that was pretty fascinating.
One other thing that I must add is that I love the nerdy, I'm going to say goofy side. And I want to tell one story, but I don't know about the voice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I tell that story?
Oh, yeah. No, and it goes back to when you two said that you could be goofy with one another. And we had that same conversation. So go ahead and tell that story. It's embarrassing to me, though.
I come to the house and I was like, I didn't tell him that I'm on my way up, And so I get off the elevator. And
I had an elevator that opened up into my living room.
His living room. And so as I'm walking through the foyer, I see him with the chair turned backwards as if he was on The Voice. He was watching The Voice. And I am like, okay. So he's listening. And then he didn't notice that I was there. And I'm like, okay. I love it because he can just be who he is. And I just love it. I just love his personality.
So I asked her, I said, wait, how did you get in here? Because you need security to buzz you up. And she was like, oh, they know me now. I said, you just got somebody fired. But the reality was, I was goofy. I was living by myself. And so I would watch The Voice, and I love the way the premise of The Voice is you don't get to see the people.
Right.
And I would disagree sometimes, and then I'd say, well, let me try it. And as soon as I turn my chair around, the elevator door opens, and I'm like, oh, this is not going to go well.
It was great. I loved it. It was amazing.
But I told the truth. I'm like, I'm watching The Voice, and I was waiting for the judgment. And she's like,
I get it.
oh, I get it. That's pretty cool. And I was like, yes. And so we made a commitment that we could be goofy
with one another, yeah.
Which is awesome. All right, so next question. What's one small thing that your partner does that makes your day better? I'm going to start with you.
Shit, I already know. So she pretty much she basically loves me every day to where I feel it.
You feel it.
I feel it like every day. Like, there'll be times where like
you don't get to go first anymore because those answers are too damn good.
Exactly.
Now I'm trying to figure out how to top that question. Now go ahead, brother.
But I'm a welder, so like, I work hard or whatnot with my hands and things like that. But she'll like sometimes make my lunch, mostly all the time. But she'll put a little note in there.
Oh wow!
Just tell me like just something sweet, and I just be like, dang, bro, like I don't know, I never had that done like before. So it's just like, golly, like I don't know, but I feel like she speaks life into me.
Good.
Like, just to where like I don't even feel what she's saying. You know what I mean? Like, she was like, oh, you show this and you show that. I'm like, I don't even feel that. I'm just being myself,
Right.
I would say that. Yeah.
Awesome. Anything you want to add differently or same?
Well, that was very said. So he's very warm. I don't know if you guys ever with pleasure. Hot. He's a very warm person, and I'm
not hot.
I swear to myself.
6, 7 degrees. But sometimes, like, all I need, I'll like stand really close to him. I won't actually hug him, but I'll stand, and he already knows. So just bring me in, just like rub my back. Even if it's like 10 seconds, it just like calmed my nervous system. Like genuinely, he's like, "Hey, it's okay." He's you're being treated. I'll wait tell. And then it's just it brings.
He's been like that his whole life.
Yes.
He has.
Wow.
It literally like reboots my nerves.
Right.
Okay, I can like do my next.
Oh.
Good.
Yeah, I love that.
27 years. What's one thing?
7 years. What I will say about my honey is that he always sends me love notes every day. Like he'll send me a text, just randomly.
Still in 27 years?
After 27 years.
Oh,
He'll send me a love note. It'll just say, I'm thinking about you, or I love you. Or he'll do something goofy and silly and send me an eggplant.
Oh my God.
Wait, I don't get it. It's just a Oh!
Just fun.
And she immediately leaves the office and heads home.
Yes, and that makes my day. No matter what
Awesome.
happened in that day, I always feel, and I've always said, like literally, like the way that he loves me. Like we're faith people, so there's a scripture that says that husbands love your wives like Christ loved the church. He gave himself for her. That is how my husband loves me. I feel that, like you were saying, how you feel it. I feel that, like deeply. I feel it.
Right.
Because it has to be going like that, like 27 years.
27 years.
Like to still be loving each other like that. That's amazing. Yeah.
That is amazing. That's goals.
Yeah.
That is goals.
And the one thing that she does that is amazing is when I get upset or whoever in my household is going through something. I have two daughters, one 25, one 12, and no matter what we're dealing with, she will bring you to a place of comfort because she will remind you of a scripture because she's the queen of scripture. She will throw something out there that will just change your whole perspective, your attitude, make you feel better about whatever you're dealing with. And I'm like, I need that. Because I was mad. I'd be pissed off sometimes. Different things happen, and you're like, nah, I should do this. No. And then, she called me with that calmness and that, like, no. Scripture said that you should. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did that. So, yeah, that's what I love about her. And it's been this way for our whole marriage.
Wow.
And so it's like, that keeps us going. And the whole household, not just me, but the kids, too. So I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It's fun to good thing.
Amen. Yes. Amen. So folks, okay, go ahead, Christy.
I would say the same. So when you both mentioned letters, I've never had that before. He does that, and I've kept every single letter that he writes, even to this day. And if it's not a
Hey,
letter,
man, don't put that out there. 'Cause Tony didn't know I had that side. He looked over at me and like, you?
I gotta tell you, sometimes I'm traveling for work and I'll look at my luggage and I find a letter and I'm like, God, it's just like I'm already in love, but I fall deeper and deeper in love. And then he has that wisdom where he can always kind of, like you said, get me back on track. Some days I'm like, oh my God, I just feel this way. And he's like, okay, look at it from this point of view or look at it from that point of view. And I just so love him for that. And he keeps me grounded and he keeps me focused.
Yeah, well, one thing that Christy does that I love, and it's going to sound really transactional, but I need to be stimulated emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually. And she stimulates me intellectually. She's the smartest woman I've ever met. But there are two things in particular. One, every day we do something intellectual. I mean, whether it's watching Jeopardy, whether it's we watch YouTube videos on trivia, and the two of us just try to answer questions. And I know that sounds really transactional, but it just does something for me. The other thing too, and this is really weird, but I always get the remote control. It is bizarre. I've never lived in that world where I could be downstairs, she could be upstairs watching something for Netflix, and like as soon as I walk in the bedroom, she throws me the remote control, stops what she's watching, and like, we're gonna watch whatever you want. And I don't know what that is, but it just feels so good to have that kind of connection where she's like, okay, you're in the room now, what do you want? And I feel like I'm at the center of her universe, and that just makes me feel really, really wanted, cared for, and supported. So those are a couple.
One thing I like to say is my husband comes first. No matter what, job, everything, he comes first. So they know that at the office. I'm like, listen, let me check. Even at my husband's gonna come first. So that's one thing that we both keep.
Oh, you're not a modern woman where your job comes first, your salary, your education, all of that comes before your man?
I am not a transactional person as far as I don't shop and do all that stuff, but I am not transactional. It's from the heart.
So just before you do that, they're going to light up our comments calling y'all pick-me's, right?
Okay.
And
Pick me.
Amen. And say it one more
Pick me
time.
every day.
So you're gonna hear all that noise like, oh, that was a bunch of pick me's.
It's okay.
You know,
It's
and I
okay.
love it.
It
Pick
works.
me. I love
It
that
works.
response. Okay, pick me.
Exactly.
Pick me twice, by the way. Go ahead, KK.
I was gonna ask Auntie Christy, why do you do that? Like, why do you like kind of toss him the remote and let him kind of like determine the vibe?
I think about him and I think about his day and I think about basically just loving him and want to know more about what he's into. And I don't just think about myself. So I've grown to notice that we have so much in common, but I'm always thinking about him and how I can make his day better. And I want us to be in the same room. And one thing about us, we go to bed at the same time every night. We get in bed together every night. So I want him to be
We don't
in the
go
room.
to sleep at the same time every night.
But we go to bed at the
One
same
of us
time.
is sleeping 6 seconds, me.
Yes.
And one of us likes to put the cover over their head and watch Netflix on their iPad
Right.
after night.
That's why I watch my TV, right? So I want him to be in that room. I don't want us to be in separate rooms watching different shows. I want us to be together and do as much as we can together. So that's why I do that, because I want him around me. I love him around me. I love his energy.
Awesome. Let's flip the script. What's one thing that your partner does that drives you absolutely crazy, but you've learned to live with it? Who did I go
want me to
to
go
first last time? Oh, you want to go first? Go
will go
ahead. Oh, man, she chomping at the bits for this question. Now I'm scared.
Okay, no, you don't be scared. It used to drive me crazy, but now I laugh at it because I have to make jokes about it. My husband is so Washington, D.C. loud. And I'm more of a,
I'm gonna do some go-go dancing.
calmer
Go ahead.
person. And I said one day to him, oh my God, they must teach you guys this at 3 years old to stand in front of Congress or something and where you have to enunciate, what you're saying and then I started looking at all the famous comedians from DC, all the speakers. I'm like,
Earthquake,
they learned this at
Martin
3 years
Lawrence.
old. It used to drive me crazy, the loudness. I used to do this.
Especially in the morning. In the morning, she'll be like, I'll get up talking, she'll be like,
Turn it down.
bro, just
turn it down.
Just turn it down.
But now I don't. I'm like, I laugh at them. Wake up laughing, and that used to drive me crazy. Not much drives me crazy anymore about him because I'm used to different things. He's very engaging, so it doesn't drive me crazy at all. But he's in the morning. His football now, it's a totally different level with sports. And when I say sports with him, it could be a spelling bee. He is so competitive and I'm like, this man is an alien or something. But
I remember the time she came, I was like, babe, you gotta get up here, you gotta watch this. She came upstairs, I was watching the dog competition on ESPN. And she's like, are you serious? I said, babe, I'll watch any competition. Any two things competing, and we were watching the dog
But what
competition.
did I do? I sat down.
So then she sat and started watching the dog competition and liked it.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
my thing, since you were first, I'll go next.
Okay.
The thing that you do that used to drive me crazy, you've gotten substantially better. When I met her, she was a workaholic, and she's still a little bit of a workaholic. I mean, puts in a lot of hours for work, and I understand that's how we make our paper. But at some point, you gotta stop. You gotta cut off. And I remember the first few months, she would like pull all-nighters working, like at that computer, at that thing. And I was like, okay, when we're together, we need to be together. We need to have our time. You gotta close that laptop, you gotta close that thing, and let's connect. She's gotten significantly better, but it used to drive me absolutely bananas.
If I could give an example, we attended a concert
Went to see Jay-Z, I think. Was it Jay-Z?
in Miami.
Yeah, that's when I embarrassed myself and realized everybody stands up at the concerts now.
And yeah.
And I was like, people need to sit down. She's like, babe, that's what people do now. I'm like, what? So I'm clearly too old, because I'm like, I was sitting there waiting to watch Jay-Z like this.
We got back home at 12, and I said, babe,
Midnight
at midnight. And I said, babe, I have a meeting with my CFO
at 2 a.m.
at 2 a.m. in the morning. And when he woke up the next morning,
I said, who scheduled it? She said, I did. I said, why would you do that? She said, he doesn't mind.
And so then he was like, well, he's not going to tell you that he
Right.
And so he woke up at about 6 a.m. and I was still
at the
call
on the laptop.
And he was on his way out the door, and I'm like, love you. I'm still on the call. And I realized I do have a problem.
Yeah.
But
She's gotten
and I'm
much
so much better. I shut off now. It's so, when he walks through the door, I don't care who I'm talking to. I'm like, gotta go. Even if I gotta go. So.
It's awesome. Coming to you.
Yeah, I have a slightly different one. So we have two daughters, as he already said. And I didn't actually, my parents divorced early. They were married 4 years. I was very young, so I didn't grow up with my father. So I never knew what a father loving daughters look like.
Right.
But whenever the girls are wrong, when I'm trying to tell them you wrong for this, he always sticks up for them or defends them. He has some defense. And I just get so like,
Fathers love their daughters and raise their sons, and mothers love their sons and raise their daughters.
That's true.
but then I take a step back. I'm like, wow, this is what this
That's
looks
right.
like. This is what this means for a father to love their daughters. Like it's the first man to love you.
That's right.
Affirm you, all the things.
That's
and
right.
He does that with our girls. So even though I get like, it might drive me a little upset sometimes, I still take a step back and be like, okay, just calm down, you know. But when they wrong, they wrong.
She just wanted to get that in one last time. All right, Tony.
So, you know, I agree with her when they're wrong, but she has this anger that comes.
The storm.
The storm.
It be real intense. And I'm like, damn, all she did was say this.
0 to 100.
Man, 0. So I've been trying to just keep it down. I'm the referee. My shirt, I throw the flag, take flag. Nope. Yeah.
The flag on the play.
But you know, honestly, in all the years I've been with her, if I had to say there was anything, right?
Mhm.
She's anal about just like simplistic stuff. Like I would come and I would set this table and I think that this table looks fine. She'd do this.
Okay, I get it.
That needs to be turned.
I get
So that's what you and I experienced when we set this setup. Because you and I were moving stuff around. And she just came in and was like, this should go here. And let's move this here. And I was like, okay, we're going to put credits at the end of the video. Vendetta Bilal as the set designer. Exactly. I experienced it.
So I'm been dealing with that, you know, for 27 years. But it don't bother me anymore. I know she gonna, no matter what I do, she gonna fix it. Look, that's not worried. There you go. Now it's perfect.
Right. That's awesome. But the good news is if that's the biggest thing you have to worry about,
That's the biggest thing.
God bless you. Thank God every day. How about the two of you?
So mine is pretty lighthearted, and I love my husband, but you know what I forget? His keys and his wallet. We were on the interview, and what was it? It wasn't your passport. It was your ID. It was your wallet, and
It was in my wedding jacket.
it was in his jacket, his wedding suit jacket.
Wow.
We almost missed our flight to
Wow.
because we went to the airport and we were going to check in to the kiosk.
He did one of these.
No, it was one of those, like, it was cutting it a little bit too close
Right.
to check in, and we had gone to the little screen and it was like, oh, your flight time is too close, so we had to go to the customer service line.
Wow.
Have them check us in. You still have to get through security.
Oh.
And I kept my composure, y'all. He'll tell you I did, but it was all because he left it. He couldn't find it.
I'm getting better with it.
Yeah.
He needed that affirmation.
Yeah, we weren't excited dates on the Apple AirTags.
Oh, Lord.
Take care of your man.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Really?
So I say phone, wallet, keys. I just look at the phone, wallet, keys.
I do that too.
It's a man thing. Because
I do that
I'm like,
too.
babe, you know my watch is? She's like, right there. Or, you know my keys are? Where? And she can find anything. And it's where I've looked 4 times.
You know where my wedding band is? Hold on 1 second.
He's messing with He's getting me warmed up for the podcast.
You know what I said, Chloe? I said, if you can't find, I have a backup for you. And
I remember that day. I could not find my wedding ring. And then she came downstairs with a backup. She was like, here's a backup. Take that. And I was like, but I don't want to wear that one. Wear the backup.
Look at this house without a ring on.
Right. You're not going out the house without a ring
So
on.
I got to tell you, you gave me grace on that one. Because your pet peeve with me is I turn off all the lights.
Oh, God, yes. This woman is a vampire, folks. I'm a werewolf. She's a vampire. I come downstairs and she's washing dishes in a kitchen that has not a light on at night. And I'm like, turn the lights on. Then at night, I grew up in D.C., I believe in crime prevention through environmental design. I need lights on, I need music playing, because I want a burglar to go, oh no, they home, let's go to the next house. Right. Man, I turn lights on, I go back downstairs, grab some, every light has been turned off, because she go back downstairs and turn them off. So I did give you grace on that one, but you're getting better, but we debate that every
just last night.
day. Oh, I know but last night. I was like, they turn the light on. And then she turns on this little tea light. I'm like, ain't nobody outside gonna see that? Turn on like
I do a walkthrough and I'm like, okay, doors locked, garage locked, and I do a whole little checklist every single night. And I'm like, click, shut off all the lights. And
even though we've had this conversation 1,000 times.
Like, he's asleep, he won't notice. And so, yeah, he does give me grace.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. Okay. Was that everybody? Did I get everybody?
Yes.
Did I get you? Go.
So basically, I have a running joke with clothing that I call her my GC because she's always giving me direction.
Oh, general contractor. I thought general counsel, general contractor.
So I'll be building a bed and she'll be kind of trying to intervene. I'm like, nigga, like I do this for a living. Ridiculous stuff. Like you don't gotta tell me what to do. So that's awesome. She would tell me something like as I'm doing it. So, I was gonna do this anyway.
Right. She's on it. That's funny.
But I got a good story about that. There was a toaster in our
Really? Really?
And I sat back and watched the toaster story. We had a new toaster. And I'm on a call and I hear bam, 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 bam. I see him with a hammer first off. And I'm like, why do you need a hammer for a new toaster oven? And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let him, what I do is let him get through it. And then once I see he's getting frustrated, I'll say, babe, why don't you try it this way? All he had to do was slide.
I was trying to slide the drip train into the wrong section, and it wouldn't fit. And I'm like, this thing gonna fit. I went and got my mallet and my helmet. I was like, bam, you gonna get up in there. And then she was like, it don't go there. It goes here. And it slid right in. I was like, whoops.
Now we need a new toaster oven.
That was fun. Okay, no more examples from you. Of course, look, we all know love isn't smooth sailing. And look, our intent with this podcast is not to be kumbaya and tell you everything's great, everything's amazing. Every single relationship has challenge. Everything. It's not all smooth sailing. So let's flip the script and let's talk about some of the challenges. So, couples, what's your biggest disagreement and how do you usually work through it? I'm gonna start with you two.
So I would say our biggest experiment, and this kind of goes back to the wallet, is kindness. So he operates a little bit more on BPT.
Black people time for the translation. Usually colored people's time.
But it's a little bit of that, and he's also a night owl. So what will happen is we need to be somewhere by 11:30. And in my head, I'm like, okay, start to drive. And we can leave at 11. Let's leave at 10:45. You know, you just never know.
Exactly.
I don't know. The ticket flies.
Correct.
Right. And in his mind, that's, oh no, we need to leave at 11:20. Everybody gives a 20-minute grace period, you know? No. And so what he'll try and do is we'll be up. So in this example, say I'm up by like 10, right? And he's like, no, babe, you shower first. You're good. And I'm like, meanwhile, he likes to iron his clothes. I come out the shower and just
sleep.
I could use that to get extra sleep.
That's awesome.
You sound like me.
He's a working man.
Yes. By the time, like, I'll be ready, and then it'll be the whole, like, I'm finishing my makeup, and then he will get ready in, like, 5 minutes. And so, of course, we know us girls, we like to take our time. He's like, see, I'm ready before you.
Bro, that's a man thing. You're real rap. That's a man thing.
Yeah. Many.
All right.
I would say this. I definitely got it.
Okay. All right. Right. Vendetta Tony.
Oh, well, this is an amazing one. It's parenting. It's the girls.
Yeah.
That's always our biggest disagreement. You know, we'll disagree on something. I think they're wrong. There should be this consequence or punishment. And he's like, well, you know, really, this is what she was trying to say. And then I'll get really angry because I'm like, well, you can't say it in front of them while they're here.
Right.
So that hands down.
He's their lawyer. I'm the litigator. All right. She's like, we should just beat them.
I know.
This is what we're gonna do. You know,
That's what she's joking, guys.
No, spare the rod, spoil the child. I ain't no problem with that. Tony, anything you want to add? No, honestly,
That's it. I mean,
Okay.
We agree on pretty much everything. I
Yeah.
think that we are, in a sense, soulmates because we can finish each other's sentences a lot of times.
Okay.
We are very connected in a lot of ways, and it's beautiful because it's like, wow, when I look at, if I had to write a list of all the things I wanted in a wife, at the time, I wouldn't even know what I wanted in a wife when I was young. But God gave me everything I needed in a wife. And I'm like, wow, because we was raised, I didn't even know I needed. She's provided for me. But
ain't that the truth?
that's a blessing in itself. But the thing with the kids, oh yeah, we have our little moments. I'm like, who you mean? I come in sometimes and I just try to smooth things out. That's it. I just try to smooth it out. Sometimes, yes, the kids are wrong, but it's just that 0 to 100.
Yeah, you just trying to moderate.
Yeah, I'm trying to moderate. 'Cause I'm like, okay, they were wrong, but man, you just went in. Like she goes in, and I'm like, and I just tell the baby girl, don't do that. Don't do that again. 'Cause mommy don't like that. So. Yeah, so that's it.
Can I hook on one of the things that you said is, and Christy talked about me writing letters and stuff. So I remember in one letter I wrote, I think it was a letter, it might have been an email, I can't remember. But I said, I know you're my person because I asked God for specific things and you met every specification. So every single thing I asked for, and to your point, even things that I didn't even think I needed to know, it's like, how could this be possible? Like everything checks off. And the biggest part is grace that you give me a lot of times. So so I understand exactly what you're saying when you make that point. So Christy, all right. We don't really have any problems, so let's go to the next question. No, what's our biggest disagreement? How do we work through it?
How to handle challenges as they are happening. I would say we handle them different.
Calm, storm.
Calm, tsunami. Right? So
Tsunami.
I'm like, whenever something happens, I'm like, honey, let me handle this. We have to pick and choose what he handles and what I handle because I'm more of a let's talk it out. Ron is more of a, he's like, oh, Lord.
I like to confront.
I'm like, oh, my God. So that's, I think, our
Not
challenge.
confront her. Let's be clear for our viewers.
Not with me.
We're talking about other people, not
people.
with other people,
now,
right?
especially if they disrespect me in a certain way, some
It's a wrap.
things I will not tell him. I will just like handle myself. And then later he's like, you didn't tell me. I'm like, on purpose. Because I know him, he's gonna go like, and I'm like, nah, I know how to handle my problems, but I know certain things I should tell him, but I know my husband. So he's doing better.
Yeah.
He is-
What's interesting is there are couples out there where one spouse will deliberately pull the string on the other spouse to watch them, to show. What's that movie? If I've heard every day I got to prove my love. Right. Yeah. You know, so it's one of those deals. So no, and I'm not happy when she doesn't tell me until later, but I understand why because she knows how I can be. So
yeah.
I'm trying to think what our challenge. My biggest disagreement with you, I guess, is that I think it's the same thing. I can't think of anything else. What other big disagreements we have? Because we really don't have a lot of disagreements.
Really, I'm not trying to say we're perfect, but
but it's usually those things. It's usually my attitude, my temper, and she's the right balance for me because she gives me grace, and then at the same time she can calm me down and just say, hey, it's not worth it. It's just
Besides the word grace for sex.
no, both matter. Sex. We're gonna get to intimacy because that absolutely matters. So, but it's grace and sex.
No, I usually tell him, look at me in my eyes. Don't focus on them. Look at me.
She's like,
And
calm down.
Calm down. I'm like, no.
Well, Vendetta, you and I got it honestly,
That's that
right?
Pisces thing, I think.
It's a Pisces thing. Thank God I'm with a Gemini. All right, so let's move from the challenges to something a lot sweeter. Intimacy and connection. So everyone shows love differently. What's your love language? Words, actions, or affection? So remember, love languages are gifts, touch, acts of service, time, and words of affirmation. So what's your love language? Who wants to go first? Anybody? Go.
I would say my love language is acts of service. Like I mentioned, she'll put little notes in my lunchbox. She'll draw me pictures and stuff like that. And I just appreciate it. And it takes time. You know what I mean? And I know how precious time is. Just trying to build something and create something. You don't have to do it. It's easy to give somebody money. It's easy to, I don't know, just do something that's kind of like shallow. But when you like create, like drawing pictures, like she drew me at least like 20 30 different pitches. I appreciate all of them. So, yeah, I would say acts of service for sure.
Okay. Anybody? What would you, we don't have to go in order. Who else? Anybody?
I'll go. Number one is time. For me, it's absolutely time, and followed by action. Those hands down are for me, because when somebody wants to invest the time in you, to spend with you and share life with you, that means the world. And through action, and they show that time and that commitment through action. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.
So, man, you could check the box of each one of them for me. I play it situationally. And based on that, it depends, because sometimes that gift do mean something. 'Cause like, I didn't think you was going to get this.
Right.
So it's a little bit of everything. You know, sometimes it's your time. It's the words in times of situation when you know a person is down or they feel a particular way, coming with the right words of comfort. A particular moment is excellent, as well as sometimes, like I said, it's that gift too, because there's been a couple of gifts. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Yes, she did.
and not that, you know, the gift mean that you love me that much, but just the fact that you were thinking about me.
Right.
Because it could have been something I mentioned 7 months ago.
Yep.
Yeah, you decided to get it for me. Thank you so much. It's from the bottom of my heart. I'm appreciative and I'm thankful that you thinking of me at that time. So, yeah, I check all the boxes. I do them all. Whatever it takes, you know, to keep this relationship.
That's right.
this marriage.
Clearly, it's working 27 years, right?
Exactly. Thank you.
So for me, I would say it is what Vendetta said. It is time and action. I could care less about buying me anything. I really can. It's more of, I'm a trust but verify type person, because you can tell me anything, but I go by what I see and how you treat me. And so when we spend time, because we spend a lot of time together, and when we're at work, even though we're texting with one another, we communicate throughout the day, and we're busy. And some days he's like, you didn't check your text message. I get so busy, but time is extremely important, and the action behind it. He's like, okay, what we're going to do here, you guys know him. We're going to do this. And it's usually us spending time together. So I appreciate him for that.
Bex, Chloe.
I was gonna say, acts of service. I feel like acts of service too. It's funny, I call it likes to go out forage. So he'll just be like, do you need anything? I'll go to the store. And he just loves it.
Oh my God, we're wild.
You can just tell that, you know, really cares, and he's always kind of like you said, Christy, just looking to put my needs first.
Right.
He's willing to do it. He's like, do you want this? I'll get this for you. I'll build this for you. He loves it. He loves like doing those things. And I would say physical touch means he's still warm. I was like sitting next to him, and I was like, "You're just so warm." He already knows.
Right.
He's my little heater.
My little heater. You just got a new nickname, man. In the comments, put if you like his nickname or not. He's the little heater. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. My bro, I ain't like. I'm sorry. That's big heater.
The only heater.
That's big heater.
Right. He's hot.
He's hot. She said we're talking about intimacy. He's hot. No, I like the way she said it. All right. So for me, I'm absolutely an acts of service guy. I just am. You know, other things matter. To your point, Tony, all those things matter. And how people show their love, it's all important. But for me, you pick up the dry cleaning, you just do any kind of act of service. To me, it's the thought behind it. It's just, wow, I can't believe you did that. That was very thoughtful of you. So, okay, let's talk about the future. Future and commitment. So what's one promise you've made and actually kept?
I'll start.
Yep.
I actually don't use the word promise.
Yeah.
I don't
Good.
promise anything, because I don't want to disappoint or set an unrealistic expectation by making a promise. I actually don't use that word at all. It doesn't exist in my vocabulary.
Good.
Not even to my kids, definitely not to my husband, because I like to just show up and do
Right.
versus promise.
That's good. Who else?
I'll just say promise when our 6 month, you know, I promise the promise we're gonna give pretty much just be exclusive. Being committed to her. That was one promise that I verbally made to her. So I would say that one.
Yeah. And I think kind of at that moment, and honestly beyond, my promise was to really like nurture and protect his heart, kind of like you mentioned with men and emotions. And it's really hard. And there's a lot, unfortunately, going against men in society when it comes to like how it leads to emotions and feelings. And so,
The trust.
so especially his heart, really having him understand that like our home is a safe place for him to be. The man, like he can have emotions. I often tell him like, hey, like cry. Like if something hard is going on, like please cry.
Let it out.
Like breathe. It's okay.
Right.
We're human. So, price.
So one more nugget for our audience, and this goes back to when you say protect our home. That's a mantra we live by. We always talk about our home comes first. We don't let other people into our house to bring drama, gossip, any of that negativity. And we always, even when we're out in public and we're in the middle of conversations, if people start talking about other people, we'll look at each other and we'll recite our address. 157, I won't give you the rest of our address.
Yeah.
But we'll literally say our address to each other, which is a signal that we mind our business and we protect our house and our home.
That's
Because
right.
that is the first place that we want to have peace in our home, and we don't bring all that stuff into our house. So
If for me, it's respect and grace. I promise him that that's going to be, I'm always going to give him respect because I want respect and he deserves respect. And so throughout our relationship, that's one thing that I've made it a point to do, always give him respect. Even if I don't agree in front of people, I don't disagree in front of people. The grace is that basically you had a life before me, you had a personality before me. So I give him grace to either correct or either to say, okay, now I understand his point, because my point isn't always the right point.
Right.
So I give him that respect and grace.
yeah. I'm going to weigh in on that. Mine is Christy required early on in our relationship. She said, I require transparency. And I said, well, that ain't going to happen. Right? And she was adamant. She was like, look, if you want to be with me, then if we're going to be monogamous, she said, you can't roll like you single. And so in our relationship, well, it wasn't a marriage and it was a relationship, she was like, I require transparency. And that's something we had to work through because I had many, many years of not being transparent, right? Of hiding, keeping the phone turned upside down, turning off the Bluetooth when I got in the car, you know, that kind of stuff. But when I realized that this was my person, that's something I just made a commitment that I'm going to make that promise once I finally got there. And I said, that's something I've actually kept is, look, I don't have no password. My password, you know it. You know the passwords to everything. Go into what you want. I don't care when the phone rings anymore because it ain't no woman. And if it is, it's somebody from 20 years ago and they don't deserve to call me anyway.
Right.
So,
well, I used to joke with him before. I said, those thought waves ain't gonna work with me, okay?
Those what?
Thought waves.
Thought waves.
And having residuals. That was my word, residuals.
No, yours is residual. You got residuals on the bench waiting to get in, waiting to get in the game.
I said, that's
Those
not gonna
thought
work with me.
waves. I loved it.
Yeah, the
That's a
thought
new
waves,
word,
no,
T-H-O-T.
I'm like, nah, we ain't bringing those thought waves over here. So, no.
All right, somebody didn't answer. Who didn't answer? Did everybody answer?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next question. What role does forgiveness play in your marriage? Oh, it got quiet. You see how I got quiet? Now we're getting real, folks.
What role does
Forgiveness play in our marriage?
And
Like, so I would say because we can talk. It's huge, and I would say it's huge because it allows you to actually learn from the situation and move on. Because at that point, you're taking a step back when you forgive. You're taking a look at yourself and you take a look at the situation, you're in person. You're coming to a resolution about it, but also you're learning from that
right.
moment. And so it allows you to really like move past it effectively as opposed to like staying on it and dwelling on it. And, you know, I would struggle with like just resentment and just like bitterness.
Right.
Well, you did that last time. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like really like growing and learning. So
I feel like
Yeah.
it is the relationship opportunity to like grow stronger too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
being able to get past a hardship in your relationship and, you know, being able to do that on the other side, like, hey, you feel, it's like a sense of strength.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? Just being able to
She does finish your sentence.
yeah. That helped me out.
so we try to say next.
Awesome.
Can I answer?
Yeah,
that?
of course.
For me, you had a saying, do you want to be right or do you want to get it right? And forgiving, sometimes we don't forgive because we're not trying to see the other person's point of view. And
We're trying to win the argument.
Or trying to win the argument because you want to be right. You want to be right. And with me living with a attorney, he wanted to be
I want to argue. I want
he
to win
wanted
the
to argue,
argument.
and I'm not arguing, okay? So I'm like, so then he said one day when I was like, okay, bringing up, so he's like, do you want to be right? Do you want to get it right? I said, that goes both ways. So we've been practicing that for quite some time.
That is our relationship mantra. We've used this so much. Do you want to be right or do you want to get it right? Because so often people, especially with our at different maturity levels and different experiences or relationships, we want to win. And we're competitive. Everybody on this couch in here is competitive. We want to win the argument, but we also want to win in our marriage. And so sometimes the biggest thing that ruins marriages is pride and wanting to be right. And to me, we just want to get it right. So that means sometimes I got to bring it down. I remember we were in like I said, we don't really argue that much, but we were having a pretty good disagreement early on in our marriage. And I was in full throat, that person, the tsunami. And she said, do you want to be right or do you want to get it right? She threw it right back at me. And I was like, oh. I had to swallow that thing because it popped in my head. Bro, what are you doing? You're just trying to win.
Right.
You're not listening. And so, but it takes a level of maturity too. Because,
And accountability.
And accountability.
Grace.
Yeah.
And grace.
It does. Because you want your man to be vulnerable, but then you can't weaponize that. Right? If we're going to be vulnerable and we take that risk, then you can't use that as evidence later. What role does forgiveness play in your marriage? I'm going to use that to eat my pizza.
Well, for once, people may think that we in a fantasy world, but we don't argue. We don't fight. We don't argue. And for me personally, I've never seen arguments come to anything good.
Right.
No positivity left to come.
That's right.
So we don't do it. It never comes to anything good. So in regards to that, we have always respected each other. We respect each other's views. That we might be different in our thoughts. And like, okay, I get it. But I learned a long time ago, it's not about me being right.
Right.
When you feel that you have to finish a conversation and you like, I gotta win, I gotta be right, it always turns out bad.
Right.
So when you could come at it at a neutral place where you like, no, that's okay. I may not totally agree with you, but at the same time, I understand your point of view. We don't leave it right there.
Let's agree to disagree.
Exactly. Exactly. So with saying that, that's what kept us, all these years. And our biggest thing is the same thing. It's back to the girls again. It's back to the same thing. Everything else we work out, but that's what our one thing. She'd be like, oh, well, I didn't like what you said yesterday. I'm like, well, what I said? Because you told them that it was okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, but you were mad. You were like at another level of anger. And your level of anger was like not right. Like you were over aggressive in the situation. So we would have those talks and that would be our only thing.
Well, what you guys have to understand too, a young couple, that those girls are going to leave and have their own relationships. And it's going to be the two of you.
Yes.
So that's one thing that you have to look forward to. Those arguments won't be there.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why we're so quick to forgive.
Right.
We're
So
very quick to forgive. Because we don't like that feeling of tension.
Right.
Because we don't like the way it feels.
Right.
It just feels like a cancer.
Right.
That could take root,
Yep.
turn into something really bad.
Right.
And so
nip it in the bud.
we do
Like,
immediately. We're quick to forgive.
We had that conversation early on in our relationship because, look, we're not going to talk about our previous situations, but the reality is we said we're going to have peace in our home. And we're not going to be walking around the house not speaking to each other, in our feelings. Now, not that, early on we had to work through that, right? Because everything is a maturity process, right? But we said we are not going to bring that foolishness into our house and we're going to work it through. And sometimes it's hard because sometimes you deal with real issues, but that's important that you are willing to talk and be mature. The other thing that you said a moment ago is you said it without even thinking. When she confronted you, you said, I'm sorry. People need to apologize more and mean it. A lot of times it almost is like choking to say I'm sorry. But it's so important if a person is willing to be vulnerable and say, you know what, baby, I was wrong. That was, I know you slipped. Yeah, that was you, bro. No, that was you. You slipped, but you back. But you got to be willing to apologize, and then the person can't weaponize that against you. Right? Because one of the things I think about is just the way we go at things sometimes. We're so very different. Christy needs to talk about it in the moment. She's got to verbalize, she got to get it out, and I'm the exact opposite. I need space. I gotta, let me go get in the car, let me roll off somewhere, let me light up a cigar, and let me just process for a minute, because I want to make sure I'm not tripping. But if we have to talk about it right there, it ain't gonna be good. Right?
Vendetta is a witness to that.
Huh? Oh yeah, Vendetta did. Oh, quick story to our audience. Me and Christy early on were having a challenge, and it was one of the times I said, you know what, I'm leaving. And I went and got in the car, went to a cigar place, went and pulled my car in the middle of an empty parking lot. And I'm sitting there, remember that day? And I'm sitting there with the windows down, smoking a cigar, thinking about all the replaying the argument, walking through it. And all of a sudden I see Vendetta's car coming through the parking lot. I'm like, no. Please God, don't let her see me. And I had a unique car. And I saw her headed towards the cigar bar because she was going to buy him birthday gifts. She was going to buy him some cigars for his birthday. And then when I saw her turn towards me, I was like, oh God, what story can I tell? Because I don't want, one thing that we don't do is put our business out.
Right.
We don't share what we're going
don't
through.
bring people into
so
it.
she pulls up, she was like, hey, what are you up to? I said, oh, just decompressing from work.
And then he came home and said, I just
Once we made up, I said, you need to know. Awesome. What about you guys?
She looks cute.
It was Rose.
Forgiveness. What role does forgiveness play, Mary? I was going to say, what's the question? Oh, you went already. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
All right.
I think we already answered.
All right. Here's a good one. When you imagine growing old together, tell me what that looks like. Tell me what comes to mind when you imagine just growing old together. I'll go first. So we're building a home somewhere else for retirement at one point. At some point we're going to retire. And all I think about all the time is waking up with no schedule, getting coffee, listening to some old 50s jazz, and sitting on our deck looking at the valley. That's all I think about. And I get emotional when I think about life without her. I get so emotional because I can't imagine what my life was like before I met her. And I couldn't even begin to imagine what life would be like without, that was one of them KK answers, wasn't it? That was just a throat answer, right? I'm just trying to keep up this brother's energy, but it's real. It's absolutely real. I just couldn't imagine life without her, but I often daydream about what growing old looks like for the two of us, and playing our video games all day and walking our dog that we don't even have yet. But that's what I think about.
You said dog?
Dogs.
Plural?
Dogs.
Plural. Okay.
You want to go next?
I would say the same. And I think I've been doing that a lot more lately, just thinking about how our retirement, being together, and that I tell him all the time, I can't see life being without him. I can't see not being together. I can't see waking up in the morning, hearing that voice, although I say sometimes turn it down. I want to hear that loud voice. I want to see his face in the morning. I want to see him walk with his dog.
Dogs.
And so I think about the way the home that we're building, and what we're building it just for us, and how much fun we're going to have just growing old together. And so, yeah, that's what I think about often.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Vendetta?
Yeah, I mean, I would say pretty much exactly the same. I think you guys summarized it perfectly. You know, just growing old and having time, even more time together. Once the girls have left home and it's just the two of us, and we travel, and we're unscheduled, and just being able to just every day be like a Sunday drive. You know,
That's right.
Relaxation and togetherness.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
So when I get
He reading from his prepared remarks.
I'm going to make
Right. He had ChatGPT come up with his answer.
No, it's just a joy. It's been a joy this 27 years. So, I mean, we're in bliss. I mean, not to say that if there's a such thing as a perfect marriage, but I feel like we have a perfect marriage. Like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful for us. And if I can continue what we have now till we get old, then I made it. I did it.
You did it.
That is it for me, because at the end of the day, whatever we're doing now, keep doing it. We could have been you. So I don't know how to improve on this way.
Good.
One thing that I heard your daughter say, her daughter's like, how old is 25. She said, I want a relationship like my parents.
That's
And
why role modeling is so important.
it is. And she said that a few times. I've heard her say that a few times. And she's like, I want a relationship like my parents. And so that is a beautiful thing when you role model. I know you guys talk about the size with the girls, but they watch and they definitely admire who you two are. So.
Awesome. Vinette, anything else you want to add, or you good? Yes. Okay. Who's the youngest on the panel? Oh, you get the social media question. So Chloe, how has social media changed the way we date and maintain relationships? Is it better, worse, or just complicated?
So I think social media can be a great way to be creative, and connect with people, meet husbands. So, you know, it can be great. But I think one of the really negative impacts of social media that I see is like on TikTok, Instagram, it's just so many unrealistic expectations. And particularly when it comes to like dating in the dating phase, the idea of like the cost of a date being equivalent with a car payment.
Right.
Honestly. Or this idea of like, if he's not paying for your hair, for your nails, even as you're dating, or like, if he's not paying for all these things and taking you out on expensive dates and you're like 20-something years old, then he's a broke. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
the case when in actuality, so it's truly more about like the thought. So if he's trying to, you know, have you pull up to McDonald's for a date, you know, and it's early on, he probably doesn't care. But like, you know, even if it's something like a free event, but he knows you guys are interested in art, it's coming out on you, and there's like a free art gallery, then maybe you go to like a little like coffee shop or something. You can just tell there's some thought versus, you know, he has to just, you know, buy you Chanel, or he has to buy you like these things.
Right.
I just think there's so much unrealistic expectations out there. And, you know, I love the girlies. I'm definitely a girl's girl myself, but I think that's one thing that social media us girls haven't done a good job of with social media. And so this like expectation.
I agree.
And you said pick me. That's definitely not a pick me thing.
Right.
It's just like, it's true.
It's
like,
true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's true.
Christy's dying to comment on your comments. So go ahead. I can see it.
Oh my God. I so agree with you on that, because it shouldn't be about the what. It should be about the person, the who. And I go back to when we first started dating, and I think it was just a normal thing. He took me somewhere and he was just like, do you want this purse? I'm like,
It was a very expensive handbag.
It was a very expensive handbag. And when I say expensive, I'm like, no, I don't want it. And he was just like, but he didn't understand. I'm like, that is not who I don't want the purse. I'm like, I just want to spend time with him. And we were in New York shopping, and he was just like, but what about this? I'm like, no, that is not
Now we got
who
to
I
run
am.
and joke about that. What was the first personalized license plate I put in your car?
Oh, long game.
Long game. Because I was like, oh, you playing the long game. She was like, why would I get a purse when I can get a house? I call her long game. I went to the DMV and got her personalized plates, and she didn't even know it. She came outside and said long game on her plates.
But no, I'm like you, Chloe. I just don't believe it should be about a thing or a place. It should be about the person, getting to know that person. And I don't care. Call me, pick me, call me whatever. But I just believe that it should be about the person.
That's what's fascinating to me, is because we watch a lot of those same YouTube videos, and I'm stunned that women will get on these YouTube videos and not talk about either the values and the character that they bring, or the values and character that they're looking for.
Because I'm
everything is
surprised.
Transactional. Everything is, you got to do this, you got to do this, you can't take me to that restaurant, I don't believe in coffee date, da 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 da. And we're not even going to we're going to save the 50-50 debate and the 666 debate for our singles podcast.
Right.
But you got to be 6 figures, 6 foot tall, and another 6.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, those are the requirements. And I'm like, where is this coming from? And I do think it's a few content providers, and then there's a herd mentality that's following it. But what's disappointing is look at the comments on those sites, because the comments are echoing, you right, absolutely. Or if somebody says positive about their man, oh, she's a pick-me.
Right.
And I'm like, where are we going? So I appreciate your comment. I really do.
Yes.
Tony, did you want to say anything?
You know, I'm lost when it comes to that. Like, honestly, so with the sentiment, just all of it is terrible. Because I have a 25-year-old daughter.
Yes.
He shared stories with me, and I'm like, you got some shit. He said, what?
Right.
I'll be devastated by, you know,
Her experience.
the lack of chivalry. The men out here are terrible.
So are some of the women too, because we're gonna have your daughter on the podcast, and we're gonna have some other guys on the podcast, and they can tell all sides.
Parenting, I don't know what
The lack of parenting.
but at the end of the day, it's like, oh my goodness.
I'll blame it on, just like you said, social media. A lot of people get it. They're getting their livelihood or the way they want to have a relationship or even want to move through life through social media. And that is not what it's meant for.
I wrote an article for a magazine one time talking about what happened to Big Mama. We need Big Mama back. Because you think about my grandmother raised me, and my grandmother was adamant that you don't leave this house looking any kind of way. You represent your name, you represent your family. My mom did the same thing. You represent your family, and so on and so forth. And when I see people out in public and the way they dress, the way they carry themselves, I'm like, we need more big mamas.
Right.
We need somebody dropping those lessons.
Right.
All right, let's go to our wrap up. So we're about to close this podcast, and hopefully you've enjoyed the content. Before we sign off, one last reflection, and I'm going to ask you to give me the both sides of this coin, right? What's one piece of relationship advice that you've actually kept and believed in, or that you've not done? It was bad advice. So you can go either way with that. Anybody can answer that. But one piece of relationship advice that was bad, and you say, so God, I didn't follow that. Or it was good, and I've actually stayed on that good advice that I got, because we will make sure we share that with the audience.
I'll start with the good one, and that is that home is your first ministry. It's priority number one.
That's right.
Yep. That's awesome.
Hey, that is awesome.
I'll kind of switch to the fact. So one thing I kept hearing, and we talked about this a lot, was this whole idea of the honeymoon phase. Like, oh, just wait till the honeymoon phase crashes. It wasn't really advice. It was more of like a warning mixed in with advice. It's like, just be aware that honeymoon phase is gonna pass, and then, and I didn't like it because in my mind I'm like, okay, well, it's kind of saying that after that your relationship just tanks.
Right.
It's like, it's kind of ideally, it's not the whole thing is a honeymoon phase, but it's like the whole thing is just beautiful. It's joyful and it's life-giving, and it's not just, oh, it's only gonna be like 3 months and the rest of
Just cook me.
it's horrible. Like, no. And we talked about it before. We just, like you said, with your marriage, it's so beautiful and life-giving, and it's not perfect, but it is perfect. Like, it's your
Perfect to them.
Right.
So just that idea, it's not like, oh, yep, after about 5 months together, it just tanked and we're just here for the kids. Like, no, not that at all. So.
What was fascinating to me, to your point, because I was going to ask you a follow-up, if those people giving you that advice were single or married or previously married but now single. And the reason why I ask is because I remember Christy asked me to talk to some young ladies and to give them some advice on relationships. And so I gave them advice about being intentional and making sure you're intentional about dating and marriage, and lower the body count, be careful of your body count. I was giving them some what I thought was really good advice. And what was shocking to me is their mothers and aunts were in the room and immediately came over and discounted everything I said and literally said, you got to live your life. You got to go out and party and have a good time. And I said, you're single. You don't have a man. And I said, how are you equipped to give advice? And I shut it down, because to me, people that have been through terrible situations or bad situations, I'm not discounting that, but you can't take the light out from other people that are trying. Right. And I see that so often. One of the phrases we often hear, single women keep single women single. Right. Yeah, that's the truth of the matter. So at least that's my truth. So
Right.
What else? Other good advice or bad advice?
I would say bad advice was, don't let this new relationship deter you from your future as far as a career. You have a career. You're an executive.
You can say it. You don't have to stop.
And don't let him bend to you. And I'm like, but he's an executive as well, and I want to be submissive to my husband. And again, I don't care about the pick me. I want to be submissive.
Is defined as respectful cooperation.
Exactly, respectful cooperation. I don't care about all the whole thing that I've done that, been there, done that before. So no, I'm ready for this. And that all executive men, they have another side piece, and
they were in her ear.
Yeah, they were in my ear hard.
Every time I go on business travel, I'm like, I ain't going to see somebody. And they just
Yeah.
And they want you to be single.
Right.
And the other one I remember is when they used to always get on you in the early stages, like the first few months, like, why are you going from Orlando to Miami?
Yes.
Make him come to you. Don't you go to him? And I'm like,
he never.
And I would say, that person's single, ain't they?
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Answer your follow-up question. A lot of that came in relationships.
wow. But they were not happy, I bet you.
you know? And well, probably some masking.
Yep. Projection.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's so fortunate. And I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah. So one thing too is when I talk to people now, they're like, how long have you guys known one another? Because you guys just seem are you guys in the honeymoon stage? I do get that as well. I'm like, no, we're not. We are just, that's my best friend.
And that poison comes in drips.
Right.
But that poison stacks. And a lot of people don't think about the poison that stacks. I mean,
Right.
when you hear that, no matter how self-contained, self-aware, you're like, it doesn't bother me. But then it starts to put that doubt in your head. So next time something happens, you start thinking, I wonder, right? And so we got to be careful about letting other people into your home and into your relationship.
I agree. In fact, we just recently opened a new business, and there was someone there that was visiting us, and there was a photographer there taking pictures, and it was the two of us plus our business partner, the person who's on site running the business. And the woman made a comment, and it's important to your point, why we have to shut things down.
Yes.
You gotta say stuff and speak it to your life. I don't receive that.
Right.
So immediately she came with this nasty comment about my husband being draped in women. I said, I don't receive that. I said, the devil is a liar.
Right.
No. Right? Because that negativity, to your point, I don't receive what you're saying. That's not us. It's never been us. It's not going to be us.
Right.
Right. And so just having the courage to just even speak up to say, that's a lie.
And I don't know her, but some people want what you have.
That's
so
right.
they want to break up what you have so they can slide in. So they're going to put that little poison out there. Especially, remember this, people are going to try to come between you. You got to know each other, and you got to be strong. And look, if something comes up, sit down and talk it through. Talk it through, work through it. You got to.
A devil in sheep's clothing is what you got to just be very aware of.
Yeah.
So any final comments before we wrap? Because we're going to wrap. So anything else anybody wants to say or ask?
Well, just stay strong. In relationship, it's always going to take work. I don't care if you feel like it's perfect. Evolution is always there. You have to just stay on top. Be available for your spouse's heart, and just respect. That respect goes a long way. I don't care if you go through things, but you have that respect. You can work through anything.
Yeah.
That's just what.
Yeah, and we said this before, but and I'm going to sound sexist and gender specific, but women want love, men want respect. I promise you, if you respect that man and you love that woman, that relationship will fly. Well, absolutely. Now, men want love too, and women want respect too. Don't get it wrong, but it's what goes in the first position. And so a man wants to be respected. A woman wants to be loved, secure, and cared for. But it's not like it's not mutually exclusive. It also goes the other way too.
Right.
I do have one final thing, so I could go lighthearted. I think something that's important is you ever just laugh. Like, remember to just laugh with your person.
Yes.
Always. So, even if it's just like sending each other memes or like just that one thing that we're all just laughing, like, don't get too serious.
Don't get too serious.
Like,
And don't take yourself too seriously.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
just like stay on your heart, laugh.
To Chloe's point, though, I have to tell so many people, I have to give a disclaimer, we play a lot. And I say that all the time, but people don't understand our personality. But we joke about probably some taboo things, but we joke a lot. Yeah. But we do that because we have a lot of fun in our relationship.
I'm going to give a shout out to your brother for a second, Calvin.
Oh, God.
We were on the golf course, and it was the really first time I had spent with her brother. And her brother's a tough guy. So we're on the golf course, and we joke a lot. And so I started talking about my side piece, and I remember seeing his head go, he swiveled like, he looked at her like, what the? And she's like, we joke a lot. We joke a lot.
He said clearly.
Clearly, right.
And the lady that was right there, she was just like, and I'm like, we joke a lot.
Right. We do joke a lot.
We do joke, probably a little too much, but we joke a lot. But that's what we do.
We were somewhere, and I was getting a pair of shoes, a couple pair of shoes, and I had said to Christy, hey, they got women's shoes in here. Is there something you'd like? And she says, no, I'm good. So the salesperson, they trying to make a sale. So the salesperson came up and said, oh, yeah, what do you want? What do you like? And Christy said, oh, no, I'm just temporary. He gonna have a different woman in here next week. So, just, and the ladies were dying laughing. I said,
I was joking. I said, he brings all of his first dates here. You get a pair of shoes. You get a purse. I said, and I was just joking. It was just a joke, but people, the ladies in the place was like,
they looked mortified.
Like, oh my God. So you won't see me again, so it's nice seeing you. You'll see a new woman next time.
Right. It was hysterical.
So, yeah.
But great point. Humor is so important. You better laugh because you sure gonna cry sometimes.
Right.
So, all right. So let me wrap by saying, look, that's our show for today. I got to tell you, I can't thank our guests enough. Our guests were absolutely fantastic. You brought candor, transparency, honesty, a little humor, and most importantly, real talk. So I want to thank you for being our guest and being on this show. Really appreciate that. You know what I'm going to say? Y'all got commitment issues. Like and subscribe. Take a minute, scroll up right now, hit that like button, subscribe. It helps our channel, and we want to be able to bring more content like this. Like I said, the next one you're going to see a travel video from us that's going to come out. We've already got that in the can. We also have another jazz video in the can. This is a lifestyle podcast, and so we're going to have a singles just like this, probably same atmosphere, same setup, but we're going to have a bunch of singles, and we're going to go down that single track. So thank you, everybody, for your wisdom. Really appreciate that. And the next time, this is He Said, She Said, Playmakers and Soulmates. And as we like to say, stay classy, stay
classy,
stay cool, and stay curious.
Hey.